Hi everyone, it's Jean, and I'm back with some fun for Mixed Media Monday. So I have been learning more or less how to work with a gel plate. So I have a gel plate here. It's an 8x10, and I wanted to play with some playing cards. So I've already started working on them a little bit, but what I've done is I have, to some of them, I have added white tissue paper, the kind of tissue paper that you get at your, that you get in your packages when you are receiving a gift, or if you make a gift and you want to put some tissue paper in it. That's basically what I was using, was just this white tissue paper that I cut down to, I don't know, 5 by 8 or 9, and I just put them over the card. Let me show you. We'll do one so we'll know what we're doing here. I'm just going to take a piece of tissue and lay it over top of my gel plate. So what we do is we grab one of these jumbo playing cards. They're so fun. And when I purchased these, I thought for sure I had gotten the kind that were paper. But these are plastic coated. So when you use something that's plastic coated on the gel plate, sometimes it wiggles around because of the paint, and then you don't get a clear stamp. So what I want to do with some of these is I'm not really looking for any kind of perfection. I just want to kind of, so I'm putting the tissue paper over top of it, and it's kind of neat when it has little wrinkles in it. I'm not worried about any of that. I want it to have that texture. So that's fine for me if it has the wrinkles. So there you see where I've covered it. And the cool thing is, and sometimes it will rip if you're not careful, but the cool thing is with this is that you can still see the numbers and the hearts. And that's what I want whenever I'm working with these on the gel plate. I still want you to be able to tell that they are jumbo playing cards, or at least playing cards in general. So that is how I start the ones that have the tissue paper on them. And as I mentioned, I just use a gel medium. This is a matte acrylic medium. And what it can be used for is to apply things, especially if you're doing masterboards. This is really nice to stick down your pieces of paper or whatever you are adding to your masterboard. And also, you can use it as a sealant over top. So with these particular pieces, since I really want to just hold the tissue paper onto the card itself so it doesn't have a slick feeling to it, that's how I wanted to present the greeting card. I didn't want it to have a glossy finish, and that's how I got around that process. Plus, as I mentioned, and I'll show you with these ones that I've already done, you get some really interesting textures to them. Now, you can see on this particular one that some of the tissue paper came off. That could be due to the stencil or the paint drying quickly. This is, here's one I did just on the greeting card itself, and they look pretty cool, but I wasn't getting the imprint I liked, except for when I got this one. This one is really neat, and this one is more of what I'm looking for. This one, I put a layer of yellow on, then some green, and then I put the teal leaves. And even though I like the color combination, it doesn't show me that it's a playing card anymore because I put too many layers on it. So these are the things that I'm learning with gel printing, and I'm going to try a couple with you while you're here, and then I want to decorate a few. So I hope you'll stick with me and we can go through this process together. And I'm not an excellent gel printer yet, but the great thing is that I do have some stencils from PM Artist Studio, and the one that I love is this leaf one. It is really cool. And so that's the one I'm going to start out with, because my vision for this is I want to be able to create a card that has some leaves, and then I want to apply to it a stamped flower. So let me go ahead, and I'm going to start with I kind of have a color palette that is lighter, as you can see just from this. I like the teals, so let me start with some teal. Now, I don't have any opinion about paint or actual processes yet, because I really haven't learned too much myself. So I am just using apple barrel paint, and this stencil is just a tiny bit bigger than my gel plate, which is okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure that I get the ink in all of the little spaces. And the PM Artist Studio stencils are really nice because they're made out of a material called Yupo, and so they're very thin, and they do give you a nice impression. Now, when I'm working with these, because my paint is inexpensive paint, you pretty much have to work pretty quickly because the paint will dry. The paint will dry, and then you will have places that will skip over top of your cards, or your impressions won't come out very nice. So, like I said, I'm just learning, but I think this is going to be really fun. So I'm going to pull this up and then show you what it looks like. So it came out really nice, with the exception of here. I could have moved it inward a little bit more, but I think we can definitely work with this one. And let's see how I did with gauging this one. Okay, this one came out much better, in my opinion, because I like the fact that the number 2 has some white around it. And I love the way that the blue looks on the club. Isn't that cool? If you can see that. It doesn't have any metallic in it. It's just a regular blue. So then what we can do is we can leave this down, and I want to add a little bit of gold to it. And I want to try one with some gold, and it'll leave the remainder of the teal on here. So hopefully we'll get a cool combination of the gold with the teal. I love when I get a little bit of shimmer in my pieces, because I think that just adds to the overall coolness. Okay, so I'm going to use this 3. I'm going to put it down here. And then I'm going to use this one that I put the tissue paper on. And we'll see how much that picks up. So let me just smooth these down a little bit. And then we'll pull this one off. And look, isn't that just the coolest thing? And then so when I take this extra off, this is going to have a really beautiful leaf motif on it. I love it. And let's see what this guy looks like. I think I moved it over a little bit more. Okay, so this came out really interesting as well. Not all of the paint picked up in between some of the leaves, but I'm okay with that. I think that looks really interesting. Hope you guys can see. I have a new, my camera setup is kind of wonky. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I want to go with a little bit of pink and a little bit of, this is a light lavender. I probably have way too much, but we'll check it out. I did this earlier, and I kind of liked the combination of the color mix with this, so I'm hoping I can get it to mix again. It may come out more purple this time because of the leftover green and the okay, let's see. Now for this one, I'm going to use a piece of tissue. This is not any special kind of tissue. It's just something that I bought on Temu, I think. But the cool thing here is that when you use tissue, you can really get it down into the different crevices and the actual cutout of the stencil, and it goes on really nice. Even here, if you're not careful, it'll rip, because this is not excuse me, this is not any kind of special tissue. So I'm going to just pull this up, and what we're getting is almost as if we're getting 3 layers. And we're even getting some of the paint off of the stencil itself. And that's probably because I haven't let the stencil completely dry. So here you can see we get the purple with the green Isn't that cool? And we get some of the gold. So I'm going to lay this aside and then I'll show you what that looks like a little bit later. So let's lift this up. And then what we have is what I call the skeleton of the stencil left. And what you can do with this is, because it's obviously dry, you can pull it with a different color. And I am actually going to try some black. I haven't worked with black very much because it never fails. Black just gets everywhere, doesn't it? So let me try the black and see what happens. Hopefully I can get a good pull with it. If not, you know, we're just practicing and we're just playing right here. That's it. Nothing that we have to worry about being super precise. And what I'm going to use to do this is a paper that's called sulfite paper. And I've been using it and I really like it. I'm sure there's better paper that you can use for this type of process. But right now I'm just using what I have. And what I have is this sulfite paper and I like it. So let me see what we're going to get. We're probably going to get a lot of leftovers that were on the plate. And then we will get some of that green. And I'm even seeing some, we got some green. You can barely see it. And a little bit of gold. This one, I'll probably put another stencil over and we'll try it with something else. So after we, let me move my plate out of the way. After we are finished with whatever we're going to plate, which I'm pretty happy with what we've done here, we need to trim these edges. And I'm going to just use a ruler because I am hoping I'll get a cleaner edge. But one of the tools that I think is the most important to have in your craft room arsenal is a nail file. And the reason I say that is because you can then use your nail file to file down any pieces that you don't need. So let me check this out and we'll pull this off. Oh, I don't want to pull any more off the front. I may need to get my scissors. Okay. Jeans, chaotic life. What can go wrong will go wrong, right? But that's okay. We just roll with it and hopefully come up with something pretty cool in the end. Now this one that I did with the tissue paper was one of my favorite ones. I love this color combination here, and I love the fact that the M is give me a moment here. I like the fact that the M is the M. What am I talking about? The 7 you can see. Sorry. See how a feeble mind's brain, chaotic mind's brain works. I just really love this red. I'm going to pull a piece of designer paper out of this paper pack. I'll lay this down right here and put this on top. And I am going to take my nail file and just show you what I do is I just go around the edges like this and just make sure that any straggling edges either need to be glued down or torn off or what have you. So it's really nice. I really like how this one turned out. Plus, I love the hearts. So, the 7 of Hearts. Playing with the game of hearts. I remember that song, but I think Hall & Oates sang it maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but I could be wrong. Okay. Now, the other ones that I really liked was this Ace, and I also liked the 2 of clubs and the 3 of clubs. So let me show you what I have in mind doing. So I want to take some paper. Let me see if I want to use see if I can get this without causing an avalanche. I use some dictionary paper. And what I'm going to do is take the dictionary paper and I'm going to stamp some floral images. I'll probably need more than one sheet, but let's just start with one. And these floral stamps are foam stamps that PM Artist Studio also makes. And I have here a really pretty, it's called Funky Fuchsia. And I used this before on one of the other ones, and I really like how it turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up, and hopefully we'll get a good impression, make a good impression. And I'll just put it right here. I had not used foam stamps before, but they're really nice and easy to use. I like them. So, time for the reveal. Okay, very cool. That came out really nice. I love it. And then there's another one that's done a little bit differently. These are the Xenia stamps. And they are really beautiful. So let me stamp that one. And I have one here that I stamped on paper, just regular paper. Oh, I think actually I stamped it on, oh, that one came out pretty, but I think it's upside down, so I'll have to cut it then. But I think I did this one actually on a piece of jelly print, which reminds me, do I have one? Let me see. I actually have, this one is a very pretty one that I did before. I didn't use the leaf stencil. I used something else, but let me stamp on these. And I like the fact that when you stamp on a jelly print or gel print, you get a background. So I can stamp this right here. Oh, very cool. I love that pink with the orange. I'm always saying orange, orange. It looks really nice with the orange. Okay. So let me stamp this one. I'm just out of curiosity going to see if this has enough ink for a third one. Is there something missing on that one? Let me see. Okay, actually the second one came out better than the first. I don't know if I can line that back up again. It looks okay. Gave it a few extra petals. So we can use these, and we can also use the book page ones, and we can use them for different things. But what I wanted to do is, especially on the number 7, and I'm going to take the book page one, and I'm just going to roughly cut it out. I'm not going to go like directly up against the edge of the flower. I'm just going to go around it a little bit. And this is permanent ink, so it should not, it won't move, which is good. Okay, so this would go on just like that. Actually, I think I'm going to put it toward the side. And then the other one, I'll cut this one out. I'm thinking I want one per card because they're so big. But I will look to see how they look together. So I hope everybody's good. It was a very, excuse me, anxiety-filled day for me yesterday because the wind was really crazy here, and things were hitting the windows and crazy. Give me 1 minute. Okay. When you have a mom and kids, you can never be alone, right? And I think that kind of looks good, but I'm the person that I usually work in groups of 3. So I am going to leave this at 1 for now. I'm going to set it right here. And this one, can't decide if I want to use, a paper one. I think that would be pretty right there. And then we have these. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to just tear them out. So hopefully I can tear them without ripping into them. And I'm going to try to apply it to one of these cards that does not have tissue paper. Oops, it's starting to tear a little bit. And see how that looks. All right. I want that torn a little bit more, but I'm just going to go around it roughly with the scissors. I like the organicness of the torn edges, but sometimes you can't get really close to the flower. Okay, that looks good. So this one, I don't know if I like it on, I might like it better on one of these that have already the tissue paper. That one looks kind of that one looks kind of interesting. So let me set that over here. And then we'll go ahead and apply them. Let me start with this one first because I think this one I am in love with already. And for this, I'm just going to use a glue stick. I'm not going to use my gel medium. I actually think the book page one kind of blends in better. So we'll just put some glue on the back and make sure we get all around the edges. And we'll put this right here. Oh, that looks so pretty. I love how the leaves come out. So it almost looks like it's in a garden, doesn't it? Really cool looking. And the other one was this one. And it had, now that's kind of different, having one with the book page. Let's do that. And then I'll find something else to put in that grouping so it doesn't look like it's an uneven number. There's something about mixed media art and odd numbers. It just helps draw your eye toward the art. I'm going to have that go off just a little bit. And I'm okay with just keeping it off. I'm not going to cut it. So now this one here, I'm just going to put on the other side. I kind of wanted to cover up that blemish there. So those are overlapped and that looks really pretty. I have one other one, but I think it's the same flower. So let me see what I want to do with my zinnia bush, which is, zinnias don't grow on bushes really. So, I have a few what did I do with them? Okay, let me just see if I have a light colored page I can stamp some on, because I want this one might be cool for a yellow one. Let's see. What other color of ink do I have? I have an orange ink. Maybe that would look good on this yellow print. Let's take a look. I'm not sure about how this will cover. It might come out like a peach because of that teal. I mean, fuchsia that was on there. I don't know if I missed that area. Probably. Let's do that one again. Yeah, I have to make sure that I press down in all the areas. Okay. Ready? There we go. That one came out nice. So let me do the other one, and we'll have a yellow and orange one to add to our design. I thought I only wanted one, but then the more I looked at it, I decided I needed more. Do you ever do that? I always do that. I never start a video with a plan. I just usually wing it. Okay. There we go. Now, why didn't that print over there? It's either I'm not pressing hard enough or I'm not inking up the whole thing. I mean, I could go in with a pencil or something and fix that, but I'm going to see if I can get a better print up here by applying even pressure to the foam stamp. All right. There we go. And it did it again. I'll be a monkey's uncle. Okay. Let me concentrate on inking this well first. And then Okay. Now, where is it not inking? Right here in this section. So let me just go around the whole edge. Okay, flower. All right, yay, we got one. Okay, so the key to the foam stamps is even pressure so that you can get a good imprint. And this yellow one is just going to look fabulous. I really like those peach ones, but I have to think a little bit more about how I'm going to use those. The ones that I printed on the tissue paper. But the funny thing is, I've always enjoyed stamping, but I haven't done it for a long time. And I think I've kind of lost practice with stamping. So sometimes I don't get that even pressure, or I don't colorize the whole stamp completely. So those are things that will always be important to remember when you're stamping. Okay. All right, I'm going to lay this up here, and I'm going to put this beautiful yellow zinnia right here. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. And I like the fact that we can still see some of the hearts. So let me go around the edge here on this, making sure I get all the little points. And we'll put this one down. And it's going to be more over some of the pink ones. Oh, those look really nice. So after I put on, I think this needs a tiny bit of glue. After I put on the zinnias, I wanted to add an image. Let me see which one I will choose. I like this little girl, and I'm going to kind of tear her out. So that she will look more of a vintage photo. I don't want the white edges showing. Although on Polaroids and things like that, they still had their white edges, didn't they? Okay. So, I need my It's funny how you put things away because you're going to do your video and then you decide you need them and you can't find them. Let's see. What was the other color that was here? I don't see it now. Okay. Not a problem. I am going to... Where is my brown? That's crazy. I wouldn't put it very far away. Okay, I see it. Now, if I have an inker, that would be fine. But there's a trick. If you don't have your inker, you can just take the actual stamp itself, or I'm sorry, stamp pad itself, and just go around the edges. And this one is vintage photo, so how appropriate for this little girl. And this is an image that I created. So if you're interested, I'm pretty sure it's on my coffee shop, and it is a free image. So, all right, I want to put this so it's not taking away. Let's see if I can cut this like that edge like that. I think it's okay if it goes into her hat a little bit because this is a picture we just found somewhere. I want to put this so it's not covering all of our flowers. Make her a little bit skinnier. And then just ink this up again. And that way we can see more of the colors of the flowers. So let me go ahead and glue this down. When I first started making ATCs and things like that, I loved using vintage images of children. So pretty. So I had made myself several sets. So you can go on my coffee shop. These would be probably called, now let me think of the word because I don't know it off the top of my head. Harlequin girls or something of that nature. It would have the word Harlequin in it. And then I think I'm going to take, I like these little things right here. And this kind of, I think, but I don't think I'm going to use that. Where's my cutter? I'm just going to cut a piece of brown cardstock. Oops. And I'm going to use that as kind of a placard. Is this double? No. Okay. Man, that was very heavy. Cardstock. It's almost like cardboard. Phew. So I will put her little placard right here. And I'm going to find a sentiment that I like. And let's see. something springy, right? Okay. All right, I'm just going to use, I don't know, that should fit on there. Let's see. Okay, yes, it does. It says love and abundance. Let me make sure it's on straight. My life is crooked anyway, so what would it matter, right? Okay. So love and abundance is on there straightish. And then I'm going to glue this on. And I'm going to put this right here. And I'm also going to go around the edge of the card and just distress it a little bit. And any rough pieces of the tissue that are still sticking there, you know, that's perfectly fine. So, okay, there we go. So we have these options of using printed papers. If you do a pull off of your gel plate and you like the background colors and it's not so busy, you can actually stamp right onto that. We have stamping onto a book page. We have these beautiful stamps from PM Artist Studio, which are the Xenia stamps. And I'm wondering if that, okay, no, it didn't. But I'm going to try to stamp on this just for the fun of it and see what happens. And I'm going to put the pink. Oh no, this is the orange. I like orange. Orange, what's it called? Squeezed orange. Okay. And I'm going to put that right on here. And remember, even pressure. Okay. There we go. Oh, beautiful. Came out beautiful. Now, another thing that you can do is if you get a really good print of your leaves that you like, for example, this one came out kind of interesting. I could actually cut out those leaves and I could put them here on the bottom of this and make a really cool kind of collage with those leaves and the stamps. So if you have a chance to hop over to PM Artist Studio, do that. If you would give me a like and a subscribe on this video, I'd be very happy. And I hope you enjoyed this little mixed media project today using an extra large playing card. And I hope you will try something like this too. And again, check out my coffee shop for some free images. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.